Hey guys, welcome to another video. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about in 2020 and 2021, ICOs Dead. But before we do, I just want to share with you a little bit about what I'm doing today. Currently in the E46 convertible drift car. Nice big e-brake there. About a month and a half ago, we were out drifting. And the motor went pop. So I'm here with my two mates, Jace from Curbside. Hey Jace.
Hello.
And Jimmy from jimmyoaks.com.
Yo, yo.
He's not really from Jimmy Oaks. And we have just had this motor come out. And I know it doesn't look like I'm doing much, but I'm filming. Yeah, so we pulled the motor out. I say we, Jace did it all. I just smiled. There's a little bit of a dash wound there. Looks a little unhappy. Definitely let go. I think it was, number five let go. Doing BMW things. So we have the other motor ready to go in. And that's going to be my day today, and then jumping into some crypto stuff. So before I jump into the computer, we'll just cut to a quick word from one of our sponsors. Okay, before we start the video, I want to just talk about one of our sponsors, Max Wright. He's actually putting together a webinar training which is going to teach you how to invest $5,000 wisely today that can give you a passive income of $100,000 per year or more in as little as 18 months. So this is an invitation-only webinar that he will be sharing all of this info with you. I'll put a link to the webinar underneath this video, as well as it's go.doubleclick.com/MaxWright. Max has been calling different Bitcoin cycles for the last 6 or 7 years. I've personally known him for about 13 years now, since I was about 20 years old. I'm 33 now. And he's a solid guy. He's super knowledgeable. He's got great insights into the cryptocurrency market, and he's really in this for the long term. He's also a great person to find different ways to make money both online and offline. So I'd strongly recommend sign up to this webinar, take the time, watch it. You will get massive amounts of value from Max. And for those of you who've been watching some of the videos previously, you would have seen his insights into BTC and why he feels like this is going to be at least $100,000 BTC in the next 12 to 18 months. So go ahead, register now, and let me know in the comments what you thought of the webinar. Alright, so the old motor is well and truly done. You can see a bit of journal from the crank there. New motor is in. Thank you, Jace from Curbside Mobile Mechanics.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Jimmy. Still got heaps to do, but super close now. Okay, motor's in. First start, go Jace.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Yeah, boys. Woo! Woo! Yeah, Jace. Yeah, Jace. You did say that, didn't you, sir?
Well done.
Are ICOs dead in 2021? So cryptocurrencies are evolving past the traditional ICO, as traditional ICOs were defined in the cryptocurrency industry in the early days. So the new ICOs for legitimate, impressive sounding coins were being released alongside scams, and scams were being released alongside tongue-in-cheek jokes like useless Ethereum. Despite its silly promise, it managed to generate over $300,000 in funding. In case you aren't familiar, a traditional ICO is compared to crowdfunding for a new coin. A startup or group of developers offer a kind of new cryptocurrency. Then they accept funding from investors in exchange for a fixed amount of cryptocurrency at a loss proportional to their contributions. ICOs became incredibly popular after the 2017 growth spurt from Bitcoin. In the matter of a few months, Bitcoin went from a barely noticeable novelty to the main talking point of investors, futurists, techies, and average people all over the world, including your Uber driver. Since then, there's been a major decline in the number of total value of ICOs, as in back in January 2018, there were 160 independent ICO projects ready to close, and in October 2019, there were none, with some analysts suggesting that ICOs are dead and others suggesting an up-and-coming renaissance in ICOs. What does the future hold for cryptocurrencies? Cryptocurrencies appear set to evolve beyond the need of ICOs, but let's take a closer look at the variables changing the landscape of ICOs. The rise and possibly fall of ICOs. So why are ICOs on the decline? This isn't a fluke, it's a consistent trend and one that's been developing for years. The question is, what's motivating the trend and is it going to continue? So the sheer number of ICOs. As I said before, Bitcoin exploded in popularity in a relatively short period of time. This surge in growth led many amateur investors to believe that this was only the beginning. They thought many coins would grow to the same level of prominence or even surpass Bitcoin's popularity. Accordingly, hundreds, then thousands of ICOs emerged, and that sheer number of emergent ICOs was also problematic. With thousands of competing brands of coins, no single coin had the opportunity to stand out, and especially with household names like Bitcoin and Ethereum dominating the market. Fraud and consumer trust. It's also worth noting that ICOs were plagued with bad accounting practices and misleading information. In some cases, they had outright intentions to defraud investors. Clever criminals and grey area swindlers were eager to capitalize on public trust and the novelty of cryptocurrency to make a quick buck. In fact, many never released a full version of the intended cryptocurrency. Regulatory crackdowns. In part as a response to the number of fraudulent ICOs and in part due to the increasing respect for cryptocurrency, the SEC and other agencies have increased their efforts in regulating ICOs and cryptocurrency in general. If you try and plan an ICO today, it's going to be much, much harder, and you'll need to provide more documentation and evidence of your work, plus you need to adhere to a tighter set of standards. Less media interest. Part of the explosion of ICOs was due to the sensationalism pervaded by the media. Bitcoin made thousands of people overnight millionaires, and news outlets were quick to report on this. Cryptocurrency stories got a lot of clicks and views, so it was only natural that the media reporting would increase. However, since Bitcoin's stabilization, there has been far less media and public interest in ICOs. So this is how cryptocurrencies are evolving. New coins are still emerging, even though the traditional form of ICO is getting rarer and rarer. So what companies and developers are doing now to evolve? There's a lot of token innovation. So first, we're seeing a resurgence in token innovation. Startups are no longer striving to become the next Bitcoin, as Bitcoin and other similar coins are already well established. Instead, they're looking to add a twist to the cryptocurrency formula or offer a technology with distinct advantages over traditional and current market offerings. This often means forgoing the option of an ICO. So for example, UHive is an emerging social network that utilizes a unique token, the UHive token, as a form of currency within the platform. It's designed to make it easier to trade goods and services, advertise, and even receive rewards for engagement on platforms. And in other words, it's meant to improve transactions on the platform rather than replace a global currency. IEOs. As kind of a light replacement for ICOs, we're seeing the development of IEOs or initial exchange offerings, and instead of creating a brand new token with a brand new platform, an IEO allows developers to introduce their token using existing cryptocurrency exchanges. It's a way of building confidence in your investors, and this reduces the chance of fraud, simplifying certain regulatory requirements and taking advantage of an already established user base. Better preparation. Because one of the biggest obstacles for ICOs these days is overcoming regulatory hurdles, some coin developers are attempting to make up for this by simply putting in more legwork. They invest in a bigger team, they foresee more legal loopholes, and they get everything in order long before even announcing an ICO. Accordingly, the number of ICOs is decreasing and they become more spaced out, and nobody likes to deal with excessive oversight. If you're proactive and you have ample resources, it's much easier to manage. So what's next? The key variables to watch. What's next for the ICO world? Are we going to see a resurgence of ICOs in the future? Will IEOs come to replace ICOs as a similar but updated form of offering, or is the future of cryptocurrency regulation to unique, innovative companies trying to do something new with blockchain? All great questions which I'd love for you to answer or give your input below. SEC regulations. The SEC has taken action to improve the quality and stability of ICO offerings, but there's still much work that could be done in the future. So far, the SEC has only recognized two cryptocurrencies as not securities, which is Bitcoin and Ethereum. While they've made it more difficult to put together an ICO, it's not an unreasonable process. The SEC and other organizations may make changes in the near future and make it easier or harder for new coins to emerge, or they may change how coins can enter the market, which you've probably seen recently in news that the SEC is now going after Ripple or the XRP token, and they're classed it as a security after it failed the Howey test. The SEC has also gone after KIN, or the KIC token, and settled outside of court. And they've also gone after EOS and settled outside of court. Competition. Competition has a kind of self-policing effect. If there's a lot of competition in the crypto market, developers will be discouraged from trying to enter the game. With fewer competitors, it will be easy to make an impact, and especially if you have a totally unique business model. Global factors. Most of this video has focused on ICOs in the United States and the SEC, but it's also worth noting that the global disposition towards ICOs and cryptocurrencies in general. Certain areas may be more relaxed about ICO standards, resulting in location-based surge in offerings in the near future, and changing global attitudes could also have a major impact on how coins are regulated everywhere. I know from my personal experience here in Australia that the Australian government is very against ICOs. There's been multiple ICOs that I have consulted on and worked around that have been shut down before they have seen the market. There's also some that have actually gone to market, and very soon after, the Australian equivalent to the SEC, ASIC, has classed that ICO as a security and told the founders and members of the team to return all the funds to investors. It's also a very difficult and constantly changing landscape when it comes to regulatory bodies in Australia. And finally, we've got ingenuity. The future also depends on developer ingenuity. Clever, original ideas will always find a way to get to market. If there's a new breakthrough in how the blockchain is created or how new coins are distributed, it could open the door to a new wave of something similar to ICOs. ICOs do seem to be on the decline, and according to every notable measure, however, this is actually a good thing for the future of cryptocurrencies. So fewer ICOs means the quality of ICOs is going to increase, and the number of cases of fraud will decrease, and original transformative ideas will become more commonplace. And just to give you an example of a coin that I shared with my subscribers in the last 24 hours, that's Reef token. If we just have a look on the screen now, you'll see that Reef has done an incredible run of 8 times from its ICO, which happened recently on the Binance platform. It's just open to market today, and you can go and buy Reef. It has gone up 8 times since opening to the public market. You look into this more before jumping into any kind of investment. As always, this is not investment advice. I'm not your investment advisor, and to do your own research. And finally, where to from here? ICO projects will continue to form, and if they don't ask for money, then they don't have to worry about this question. As CoinCenter's Peter Van Valkenburg said recently, since the beginning of our advocacy in this space, we usually have at least one sentence saying, if you really want to build something good, a decentralized network like Bitcoin, Satoshi was able to build one without a pre-sale. So the whole point of this is go and build something great and then ask for money later. If your project is really that freaking good, then build it, show the world that it works, and then ask for money. Projects looking for funding, however, are looking at a tough path ahead. So institutional financial players have been examining blockchain technology more intently for private usages for a very long time now, but we're looking at a new era. We'll have to watch out for whether Blockstack can turn its STX into non-securities, or Filecoin can launch its network without the SEC run-in, or even what happens to Telegram and Libra. Without a major change in laws, it's hard to envision a new project coming out about and transmuting an ICO into an accepted public currency like Bitcoin, given regulatory hawkness. Though this isn't the end of new crypto projects, the window of time when you can ask for funds to start a new coin and watch it leave your stable seems to be closed. But that's not to say that it won't open again. And like I said before, Reef did an 8x from an ICO. There's still projects doing this. This was one that I shared with our private mastermind members. If you're interested in learning more about this, shoot me a message on Facebook. My socials are below. And that's pretty much it for me about ICOs. As always, remember to like, subscribe, and share if you have got value from this video. Leave me a comment. If you have any questions, I would love to hear from you and possibly create a video about them if they are a good suggestion. So that's it for me. I will see you in tomorrow's video.